Y'all got to forgive me. It's a little hot out here. I about broke me a sweat. But about to head out of town with my partner. They having a little situation. But I'm tagging along because I'm gonna try to write a book over the weekend. So I'm gonna film some of these here videos, few of these little videos, piece them together, Lord willing, if I remember, to show you my process and how I write a book. So working on this next book for the men. This will be a book to get for your sons, for your husband, boyfriend, brother, daddy. Just trying to help in that area, help each other. But hey, God bless you. About to head over here to the plane. And we hopping on and heading out of town. Get my little writing all weekend around my phone calls. Talk soon.
But that's how they got people to eat them. They was like, hey, everybody in Boston's eating them, but they weren't. They were roach. Why couldn't they just be roach? Why do they need the cock? Sit back here, we'll get to know you.
Well, this is where I'm at writing. You can see the beach out there. And in the hotel. And I'll come in here and I'll just write. Normally I have a little schedule, but last night I woke up and so I'm already writing right there. Last night I woke up about 3 a.m. Got up, got to writing, wrote for a little while. I wrote about 13, 14 pages, then laid back down, took a little nap. It's 10:45. Unfortunately today I have a couple coaching sessions, so it's a little different for me than normal because I normally would just be writing with no distractions. But being that my week this week required that I go out on the road and speak, it threw me off, threw my schedule off. Oh, it's some rain out there. Oh man, it's rain out there and people are already out in the pool. Being that my schedule required that I go out and speak, I had to move some sessions to Saturday, which I never do, but just felt bad, didn't want to move people all the way to next week. So got a couple sessions today, only an hour and a half worth of sessions. And I'll just be writing all day to see what I get done. And then tomorrow, Sunday, is completely open, completely free. I'll get to write all day. So I'll try to put in 10 to 15 hours worth of writing. And the reason why I like writing like this is because I can get in a flow. So if I write an hour today, and then an hour tomorrow, and then an hour the next day, I'll kind of start to forget what I said last time. And every time I sit down, I have to like read the chapter before to try not to say the same thing. But when I get in a rhythm, my spirit can feel and remember what I just said so that I don't repeat it right away. And if you read a book from like a speaker or a pastor, what you'll notice sometimes is that they say the same thing 3, 4, 5 times, and it's because they spaced out their writing so much that their heart go to pour out, and we got the same messages within us because the messages are principles, so they don't change. So when you think about a topic, the message stays the same, and they be done forgot that they already said that. But now when you 50 pages in, you can't read 50 pages before you start writing page 51, and you end up repeating something you said. So that's why I try to do it a little differently. This is ridiculous. This place I'm at, this hotel, how many chairs they got out. It's ridiculous. But hey, God bless you. About to get on back to it. And I'm trying to write a book in the weekend. This book is for men. 75% of readers are women. With that being the case, I'm gonna write this book like 50 to 80 pages and make it a handheld book like the size of a hand so that a man can get it. He can take it with him to work, read it at lunch break, and really finish it in a day and start doing that work that he need to do. But hey, this Tony Gaskin. God bless you. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Well, that's the end of day one of my writing. It is 10 o'clock. And today, the way it worked out was I woke up about 3:30 a.m. and wrote maybe till about maybe 6 a.m. Then got in the bed. When I got back in the bed, went to sleep till about 10 a.m. Started writing. It could have been 10:30. Started writing. My schedule was pushed back. Wrote till I think 1 p.m. Had a coaching call from 1 to 2, I believe. Then wrote from 2 to maybe 4. I think I had something to eat. And coached at 5 to 5:30. Then went back to writing 5:30 till maybe, I don't know if it was 7:30, 8. Had dinner. And then went to writing like 8:30 or 9 till 10. So got 42 pages written today. The goal for this weekend is 80 pages. So I have all day Sunday to write, and then I'll have early Monday morning to write as well. The key is just having the information, because the way I write my books, I don't write my books based off of research or data or science or anything. I'm writing the book off of God-given wisdom. So the key is being able to teach lessons, being able to teach something and share the message that God has given me without being too repetitive. So that's the goal in it. More than halfway to my goal, and I'll see what I get out tomorrow. If it's shorter than 80 pages, then that's all I got. That's what the Lord gave me, and that's what I have to go forward with. But if I can get to the goal, then that's what I do. And this is something for men. It's something to where, as I'm writing it, certain parts I can feel it. Like certain parts I'm like, man, that really hits. And then certain parts I can't feel it at all. Like I can't relate to it. Like I can't feel it. It's not for me. It's for somebody else. But I'm the vessel. And so I just am obedient, and I'm writing what's being given to me, knowing that if a person is going through that in their life, it may have him in tears. It may really bring him to his knees, and he may cry out to God for healing, forgiveness, love, patience, grace, mercy, whatever it is. He may go talk to his people he's hurt, his kids, his wife, his ex. And so this book is about, manhood. We really lost in the areas of manhood, and we really don't understand what manhood is, and we have it confused. And so that's why I feel led to write this book, because right now as men, we kind of like a lost society. But now, as far as this here process, because I know sometimes people, you want to get away. Fortunately, I have a sponsor on this, like this hotel. So the room is overpriced. It's because it's in Miami on the beach. So I think like $475 a night or something like that. And then they hold $200 a night on your card for incidentals. I ordered 2 meals today. The first one I believe was $54, and then this one, the second one was I think $74. So you're looking at $125 a day that it's gonna cost me to eat. But only have to eat Saturday or Sunday. May eat breakfast Monday. So you're looking at, $250, $300 for food. And then if you have to pay for a room, you know, you can get that whatever price range you need to be at. You get a room as cheap as $80 or $100 a night. And so that's what it takes, you know, to produce the book. And then when it come down to publishing, it just depends on which route you go. So if you go through with a author consultant like myself, that's $2,500. And then the publishing cost, you're looking at around $1,500. So if you don't have an author consultant and you just take like the Birth Your Book program on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, whatever that's priced at, could be $100, $200, and that walks you through how to publish your book. And then if you get all your stuff done, you know, based on what you learned in that course, then you can get your book published for maybe around $1,000. So something to think about. Get that book out you, you know, put it on out there. I'm gonna start writing more and more books as they come to me, and just putting it out there. And even if they're little short booklets, the thing about it is a lot of times we write 250 pages for our ego, or we write it because the publisher, they want to make it look like it's enough content for the $25 that they want to charge. But me, I'm going to self-publish this book through my own company, so I don't have to hit a certain page count to publish through the self-publishing route. I think for a print book you only need 16 pages, and so I'll be good either way. And then you also always could do volume 2, volume 3, volume 4 if you need to, if stuff hits you later, more developments. But what I like to give is I like to give meat and potatoes. I don't like to give, you know, a bunch of appetizer bread and salad. So, and just all the little extra. I like the meat and potatoes so people get what they need. That way they don't get too tired of reading the book and put it down because it's just fluff and circles. But yeah, this how it's going. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Well, just waking up and slept in today because I wanted to make sure I'm fully rested, got everything I need as far as rest is concerned. And then now I'm about to start writing. This will be day 2 of writing, and it's probably like going on 10:30. I'm gonna phone home, talk to the family maybe till 11, start writing. The good thing about it, I'll have a window of like 11 a.m. to like midnight. So looking at 13-hour window that I can write in. And of course I'll get a couple meals in there as I get hungry. I'm not gonna eat out of routine. I'm gonna eat when I get hungry. Sometimes for me, writing on an empty stomach is better, because when you get full, you get kind of lazy, get kind of sleepy. So I write till my stomach start to pretty much growl, and then I'll order. Food take 30 to 45 minutes to come. So when it comes, I'm pretty much really hungry, and I could eat it all because I got a small appetite. I don't eat a whole lot, but that helped me be able to eat it all because I'm actually hungry. And then rest about 30 minutes after I eat, let my food digest, and then go back to writing. So, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because I'll be honest with you, the stuff I'm writing, it feels simple to me. It feels simple to me because I'm past it. Meaning I don't struggle with pornography, I don't smoke weed, I don't get drunk, I don't cheat on my wife. So it's like I'm touching on these things and I don't have a struggle with it. Now where I struggle is if I'm too hard on my son, if I'm too blunt, too direct, if I'm too aggressive with my words. I don't even curse, but I still could be too aggressive with my words, and so I struggle with that. So if I'm writing in an area to where I'm talking about something like that, then you know, I'm gonna feel it. But the rest of it, I don't necessarily feel it, but I know it's for somebody. I know it's gonna bless somebody, help somebody. So that's the hard part about writing a book as a vessel, as a servant. Not all of it is for you. Not all of it is about you. And the other thing is I'm leaving personal stories out because I kind of want the book to be timeless. I don't want it to be a Tony Gaskins memoir or Tony Gaskins biography. I want it to be principle-based wisdom that anybody, anywhere could pick the book up and get a lesson. Now, the one thing that I cannot omit from the book is God. I can't omit God. I can't omit Jesus Christ. And so that may make some other religions or non-religious people put it down, but the hope is that they'll still get something out of it and kind of see. But it's kind of hard. I can't leave that out because for me, that's non-negotiable. But hey, just adding this little update. Let's see how many pages I can get, see how long this book is supposed to be. I don't want to be repetitive or be saying the same thing over and over. So if I can't hit on other areas, then the book will come to an end. And I never read back through a book when I write it, but I think this one is different because it's for the men, because it's like a deliverance book. I'm going to read back through it. I may just read one chapter a day, tighten up the words, add any little metaphors that I need to add. Sometimes going back through it when you're outside of your flow is very beneficial. I just never do it, but I'm getting a little older and mine a little different. So I'm gonna go back through this one. But just sharing my little process just for others who want to write a book. You kind of have a baseline, and I'm doing this over a weekend, but it may be something that you do over several days. It may be something that you do over several weekends or something of that nature. And it's not something where you got to go to a hotel. If you have a back porch, a front porch, if you got a lake near you, somewhere that you just can get away in silence, then you can make it work however you need to. But hey, it's Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Well, y'all got to forgive me for laying down right now because my back hurting, sitting up in that chair, and I'm on a little break. So I've been writing today. Had my little breakfast, had my little coffee, and been writing. In between writing, text my wife, getting some feedback on my little chapter or section titles. Now, this book here, being that it's for men, it's a little different because most men don't read books. And the reason why I know that, it's a very small percentage of men that read books. Like I say, the publishers tell us that 75% of readers are women and then 25% are men. But even in that 25%, the men could just be buying the books just to fill up their bookshelf to look smart. And a lot of them buying the books for their wife, and a lot of them just buying the books just to feel smart themselves, but not actually reading it. And so me being a writer, and I've written nearly 20 books, I am not really a big reader, and I really don't know men who are big readers, maybe a couple. So this here, each chapter is like, I'm gonna call it a section. It's like 4 pages, and it's 4 pages double space, so it's not a whole lot. But the call of the book is so heavy that if I put a lot of pages in the section, it'll be overwhelming, because essentially this book is calling a man calling him out of sin, calling him out of his vices, calling him out of pornography, calling him out of alcoholism, drug use, fornication, adultery, whatever it may be that he's struggling with. So it's a heavy little read. It's a heavy little read. I would say if you got a 16-year-old boy in your life, any male 16 and up, it definitely ought to read this here book. So when it's done, I'm gonna let you know about it. And I was saying I may do some autographed copies, but that always get on my nerves, just the hassle of having to sign them and ship them out. And my wife ship them for me, and I hate seeing her have to do all that little work. So I may just put it on Amazon.com, and it's on there. Probably be on Kindle as well. And then I may do an audio book for it at some point. I just gotta see how much work it'll take, but I may do an audio book. Or instead of doing an audio book, I may put it on iTunes so that people could just stream it if they got the premium thing, or they could download it. And instead of trying to go through all the hassle of having all the sound perfect for the audio book and being on Audible, I could just put it on straight on iTunes and go from there. But to give you a little update, coming down to the wire. The goal is to get to 80 pages. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. May have to add a few sections, because each section, the sweet spot is like 4 pages. A couple of them probably went to 5, maybe one went to 6. I'm not sure. But I'm not putting too many personal stories in it. I'm putting principle-based wisdom. And yes, it could be seen as an opinion because it's coming, from a person. But I'm writing it principle-based, meaning that if you take what's being said and you evaluate life across 100 men or 1,000 men, you'll find that what is being said is more often true than not. And so that's what I'm calling a principle. But if I put stories in it from my life, then it will regionalize it or colloquialize it in a way that people may say, well, oh, that is a black man from the South's experience. But when you remove the personal stories, the personal anecdotes, then it makes it a mass market book, because it's based on the principles of manhood, and it doesn't matter where you come from, how you was raised, where you live. This is manhood, point blank, period. So checking in, a little update, keeping myself updated and checked in as well. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Hey, Tony Gas is here, popping in. Now, I think it's like 10 o'clock. Well, I finished my book, and I wanted 80 pages of content. And so I got those 80 pages of content. To God be the glory. And I would say I probably wrote, I wrote yesterday and today. I maybe wrote, I would say maybe 15 hours or so. Got those 80 pages, and then it'll stretch a little bit because, the title of each section, you can make the title its own title page. So if I have like 15 sections, that'll add another 15 pages. I can expand the intro. I gotta put the copyright page, gotta put the title, the tables of content page. But with this book, it means a lot to me. On all of my books, I've written 17 books last I counted, but it could be more. I could have forgot a couple, but on all my books, I've never gone back through the book, like reread it. Because when I'm done writing, I'm so drained, I'm so tired. I'm tired of it. I'm like, I get it out of the way. I send it to an editor that I trust and just let her do her thing. But on this one, it means a lot to me because it's a call to men. And I think it could change our lives, change our family dynamics. And so what the plan is, it's not to be a New York Times bestseller, nothing like that, because it's self-published. You can't be a New York Times bestseller self-published, and I don't care nothing about the list. But my plan is to put money towards it on the marketing, to try different companies who make book trailers, who do social media campaigns, and just have it constantly year-round being ran on social media as an ad. And then I'll take, the people who send me like blessings and donations and things like that, and put that money toward marketing the book to try to get, I want 1 million men to read it. I'm gonna try to get sports teams to buy it for their whole team at schools where, you're allowed to say God, of course. And it's not too preachy, but there is mentions of God in there. I try to be, not too preachy, because some people just overdo it and you can't even get a message to people, because this is not just about Christians, because you have atheist men, you have Muslim men, And all men struggle with vices. Regardless of his religion, he's struggling with a vice in the dark that is hindering his marriage, hindering his relationship with his children. And so I want to be able to help all men who are bold enough to pick up the book and read it. And so it's done. I'm gonna try to go through it this upcoming week, and get through it and do my first round of editing. Hopefully I don't get too caught up adding too much, changing too much, and just kind of keep it for what it is. Because that first version is always like the most real, the most raw. And then when you go back through it with my mind, like on Finding Forrester, he tell him write the first draft with your heart and then go through and write the second draft with your mind. So when I go back through with my mind, I'll be able to tighten up some of the words, catch the colloquial phrases and pull some of my accent out of there and kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I'll send it to an editor and just make sure the editor is, on point and gonna get it back to me in a timely fashion, just to catch grammar. But this new Microsoft Word, man, this thing's so powerful. Like it's following everything you saying and it's catching everything. So it's almost like it removes the need of an editor. You almost got to go through and just catch typos that is a real word, but not the word you wanted to use. So like if I say one, I may be talking about W-O-N, but if I wrote O-N-E and it fits, it won't catch that. So you got to go through to catch those type of things. And we rocking. We gonna put it out there. And here's my fault. Here's my flaw. And I'm sharing this with you so you can hold me accountable. But my flaw is when I create something, I then get ashamed to promote it. I'm ashamed to promote it. I'm ashamed to make a big deal about what I've created, and I won't promote it. But if you see me not promoting this book for men, hold me accountable. Call me out. Tony, you ain't promoting your book. You ain't posting your book. I need to honestly be posting it at least once a week for the rest of the year once it's published. I need to post it once a week for the rest of my life. But I can also use your help. Just telling every man you meet, just telling them, hey, get this book, such and such by Tony Gasson. And any man you got to buy a gift for, grab that book for him. I think it'll bless him. But God bless you. We're going to talk soon.